Hello, everybody. It's the last day of August, so get ready because we're about to take it to the mic. Oh, it looks like I'm the only one here again. Start off. So as I said, it's the last day of August. So as we head into September here, well, traditionally this is around the time that we start. About a week away from school starting up again. Even though throughout a lot nowadays. Now it's like school starting earlier and earlier now here in the states. Um, kind now in August instead of like first or second week of September, or just after Labor Day. Normally, there's also around the time when, as we're getting into the weekends here, you'll see a lot of the Saturday morning previews setting up for Saturday morning cartoons, at least again traditional. Excuse me a moment. August 31st would naturally be a good day to ask how a lot of people's summer breaks are going, but considering that we've been on a proverbial vacation since March, it's like there's no real distinguishable stuff going on. Excuse me again. Anyways, yeah, as we remember some good old fashioned summertime adventures. Idea of going to the beach, playing volleyball with your friend. Hanging out at the beach. After, either after summer school or you know you have the surfers that go in the morning. At least out here in California, at least that's the way it used to be, of course. Um, Friends hanging out throughout the day, playing volleyball. I think over in some parts of the world, you have people like sit there and play the old, try to find the watermelon with blind while you're blindfolded with a bat and smash it. You know, barbecues, roasting marshmallows, and the like. Swimming in the ocean. Burying your friends in the sand, building sand castles. You know, um, Sitting back and just otherwise enjoying the summer sun. I'm gonna raise a fuss. I'm gonna raise a holler. Do 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 do. Just to try to work summer, just to try to earn $1. Do 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 do. Sometimes I wonder what I'm gonna do, 'cause there ain't no cure for the summertime blues. Or some of you might remember that. Yeah. Oh yeah, 1 week from today is, of course, Labor Day. It's usually the national holiday where we celebrate the workers of America who go, day in and day out, go out to earn a living for their families, as things have been kind of slowed down due to the pandemic and stuff like that. Um, oh yeah, so a lot of obviously because of the social distancing rules and stuff like that. People aren't as likely to get together for a traditional, you know, Labor Day barbecue. So that kind of sucks. A lot of the more traditional stuff that we taken granted for years now we're not able to do because of the restrictions placed on us. So, um, which kind of sucks, but you know, mm. As I said, around this time is usually the time when seeing a lot of preparation for the upcoming school year. One of the things I would remember, as growing up, as I was flipping through the channels, you stop in on the PBS channels, of course, and Mr. Rogers would have that. And I don't, of course, I don't think that they show Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood anymore, but when they did, of course, every week around this time, no matter what, you would he'd have his back to school. This is usually right about the time of the back to school special. A back to school week special where he'd go and tour like the preschool and kindergarten or kindergarten first grade classrooms and you know get get that experience in there, preparing the kids for to start, for the first day of school and stuff like that, you know. And now everything's online, so particularly for the younger kids, kind of a bummer because kids need their exercise. Kids need to get out. You can't just keep them locked in the house all day. That's not natural. You know, we can't live in a sterilized society. That just is not going to work. You know, people need to get out. You know, you know. Granted, we should still be mindful and especially if you're not feeling well, you should still keep your distance. But for the rest of us who don't show symptoms, should try to get out and stay healthy and you know and much of the same. So oh yeah, I'm just rambling on here. You know, what a lucky man he was. Oh yeah, I'm just rambling on, just trying to. Hopefully, people will come in soon. You know, I know, and some of you will get home a little bit later, or what have you. Hopefully you guys will. Hopefully somebody can come in. Yeah. Mm. What a lucky man he was. And still waiting on people to come in. Got a whole set of stuff planned for tonight. Got a couple stories that I found for today. Also, this day in each history. Oh, somebody's here. Somebody's here. Hello. And how are you tonight? We got somebody here. They came and they went. Oh boy. Oh boy. That sucks. Hopefully they'll come back. Ah, somebody popped in for a moment there. Hopefully they'll be back. I'll get, let's see. Probably be starting up soon enough here. As soon as we can find buddy. Don't you want somebody to love? Don't you need somebody to love? As you just want somebody to love. Hey, just want somebody to love. Hello again. All right, now that we have at least one other person in here, let me tell you what's on tap for tonight. As I said, I have a couple of stories. One story we'll be talking about will be we'll have I have a little bit of a report. Hey, Action Toy Channels, how you doing, my friend? You're usually one of the first one. You I guess you are the first one here, but usually in here early. So hopefully everything's all right. Laugh out loud. Glad you're here. So on tap tonight, I got a couple of news stories. One about One Piece. So there's some news about One Piece, and then also there's a comic is going to be. We got three people in here. Goody. Got three people in here now, so it's a good thing I kind of just rambled on a bit for the first 10 minutes or so. Wait for people to get in. Um, let's see. Let's see what you have to say there. Lost track of time looking at STL files to print. Now, when I see STL, I'm thinking St. Louis, but I don't know if that's what you're meaning there, ATC. Um, I guess that has some. It's not has doesn't have anything to do with St. Louis. I take it. That probably has something else entirely. But anyway, so I got an article about One Piece. I'm going to go through. Got a also an article talking about a release from Aftershock. So let me get that screen share up. I'll get to that in just a moment here, since I find the right. Okay, yeah, we got. Okay. 3D models to print. Oh, okay. That's what you meant. Okay. Okay, so yeah, we got so as I said, we got a story from one about One Piece manga artist, and then we also will have a story about Sony Pictures and something about a comic called Kaiju Score. So let's get back to this. Let me see now. Let me see what else is going on here. Okay, there we go. We still have three people in there here. Good. Okay, so without no further ado, we'll get started here on the first story. One Piece mangaka, which I believe means manga artist or manga writer or whatever. Eiichiro Oda reveals series has 4 to 5 years left. In a recent interview, One Piece mangaka Eiichiro Oda has recently announced that the end is in sight for his long-running Shonen Jump series. Okay, on August 27th, Oda appeared on the Japanese variety program Arashi Subo to speak about One Piece with the Japanese boy band Arashi. After Oda arrived at the Weekly Shonen Jump offices to speak with the band, he also looked at the manuscript for the first chapter of One Piece for the first time in 23 years. Wow, the manga's been going for that long. That's that's kind of interesting. 23 years. I mean, I always knew it was a pretty popular series. I know it's a pretty popular anime series too. He then went on to reveal that the series has about 4 to 5 years left in its story. So they're going along with the story. I mean, I know that from what I understand, One Piece, the anime has well over what 300 episodes, so 400 episodes. Just how many episodes is it gonna have? It's gonna be one of the longest. Hey, anonymity. Hey, how you doing, man? Hey, I'll be making some food. Hey, welcome to the stream, my friend. We're talking about some One Piece news here. So, hopefully you'll catch some of that. Um, this estimation falls in line with Oda's 2019 estimation that manga would end in roughly 5 years' time. And then here, according to this, a special color spread illustrated by Oda, featuring the members of Arashi in promotion of the band's latest single, Arashi Reborn, um, which featured One Piece characters in its music video. Look at that. Interesting stuff right there, huh? Okay. Oda then informed the band that the ending has been decided and that his editors are aware of the series' conclusion. In support of this statement, an editor present in the offices interjected that the ending is awesome. The ending is awesome. I came to play. Little Miz action there for some of you wrestling fans. Uh, Oda also told the band that his three favorite scenes from across series in order: the opening establishing shot of the land of Wano, and here I guess is that here's the here's the um here's I guess some manga work there for it. Um, when Robin heals um Usopp's knee with a natural resin from Yarukamon mangrove um, during their first adventure to the Sabaudi archipelago. Oda feels this scene helps make the world of One Piece feel more authentic. Yeah, get sticky. She creates, all right. She create a special resin. The roots of the Yarukamon mangrove. The campfire scene during the expedition to Skypiea, which Oda notes was the scene he most looked forward to drawing for the arc. Here, I guess, is that scene. Bam, tam, bam. Bam, tam, bam, tam, bam, tam. Jihad! Reading the scene here. What do you think of this timeline? How do you feel about Oda being so open about the lifespan of One Piece? Um, the battle against Kaido for the fate of Wano continues um, when the next chapter of One Piece drops on September 6th, which of course will. So September 6th, that will be Sunday, this Sunday. So that's kind of interesting. So I don't know. Are you guys I don't know. Are you guys fans of One Piece at all, or anybody have anything they want to say about it? Anonymity, ATC, either one of you guys. You guys fans of One Piece at all, or have you guys ever read the manga or watched the anime? I myself haven't, so I was never able to get. I know that I did hear that some people were very critical of the four kids dub of One Piece. A lot of people preferred the Funimation dub, but then again, I don't know if the Funimation dub is still one that people like, or if they've started going all PC or agenda pushing or what have you with it. So I've seen one episode, not my cup of tea. Yeah, I mean, I never really got into it. I mean, I was thinking, when they announced that they were going to bring One Piece to Toonami, I was considering watching it, but then I found out they weren't starting from episode one; they were starting like episode 200 or something like that. I thought, no, I want to see the whole thing. I've never seen it before. I don't want to start like down the way of it. I want if I'm going to watch it, I want to watch it from the beginning. Of course, I don't know if you guys heard because I saw this on Toy Bounty Hunters channel earlier. I guess you guys wouldn't have because, you were probably working at the time. But I was watching Toy Bounty Hunters stream earlier. Um, he was talking about, I guess, over the weekend because I didn't watch Tsunami myself. Over the weekend, I guess they decided to get a bit preachy and started talking about Black Lives Matter and, of course, trying to be typical SJWs. So so he was talking about that, and it was a pretty lively conversation, to say the least. Um, oh yeah, not that I want to get too deep into politics here or anything like that. I'd rather just keep it fun. Um, yeah, but of course, sometimes what happens is that you sometimes when you're dealing with some of these companies like Funimation and stuff, you inevitably do end up getting political because they just cannot just talk to the fans. As fans, they got to try to preach to them, and it's like they got to no lives laugh out loud. Ah, yeah. To them, I think ultimately that's true. You know, I think ultimately that's true because you know you hear people getting shot, yet they're not really crying about the people getting shot, unless it's, of course, a white cop shooting a black person, and then then it's like, oh, there's hell to pay for it. But anyways, yeah, you know, kind of funny because one of my friends on Facebook kind of posted something, and of course I shared it a bit. There was this meme up. Well, I don't know if it's a meme or post or whatever, but you had in one case you had white and black, the black hand on top, white hand on the bottom, shaking hands, where he said, where the statement was, I support my black friends, but I don't support Black Lives Matter, you know. And then you had kind of a reverse of that where, they said, I support my white friends, but I don't support the KKK. And then it kind of came out saying, we need to be all together on this, that all lives basically matter, you know. And then, anybody who supports Black Lives Matter at this point, you tell them that all lives matter, and then they get upset. It's like, okay, let me give you a little word usage lesson here. With this, just a general thing about about word usage. Okay, the idea of the ist suffix, right? Whether it's racist, um, ableist, pacifist, or ism like racism, ableism, what have you. The ist and ism suffix is it's the idea of setting one group of people. Oh, one it's to separate one group of people from another, whether for good or ill. Okay, that's the general idea of ist and ist and ism. Okay, it's the idea of separating people. It's very when people start crying racism or start crying about systemic racism, it's divisive. Okay, it's intentionally divisive. And then people, when you call them out on it, they start saying, well, you don't understand the black experience. You don't understand this and that. Well, I don't know. I don't. As a white person, I probably don't. But I understand what it means to be human. I do understand what prejudice is. I understand what, you know, I think we can all acknowledge that racism is bad. Racism is evil and it shouldn't be tolerated. It shouldn't be tolerated whether it's white being racist against blacks or blacks being racist against whites or blacks being racist against Asians or Asians being racist against Hispanics or Hispanics being racist against, racism, no matter who is perpetrating it and who it's being perpetrated on, should not be tolerated whatsoever. We all need to get back to the point of treating each other as we would want to be treated. Okay. Now, granted, I kind of went off base there because I felt like it's just stuff that needed to be said. Okay. Basically, we're dealing with a very divisive element in our society right now that needs to be called out for what it is. And I know, I'm getting that YouTube. I don't think YouTube have a problem with understanding with what I'm saying here. You know, it's like so. So, anyways, I think I've spent enough time on that particular rant. Um, let's move on to the next story. Move on to the next story here. And I do know that Tug is having a stream tonight, so I know that's why like Gelf isn't here and a few and some of the others, just simply because he's having a stream as well. So, but anyway, so let's move on to the next news topic, next story here. Sony Pictures adapting Aftershock Comics, the kaiju scene or kaiju score for the big screen. So this is another like film adaptation of a comic. This time coming from Aftershock Comics by Sony Pictures, everybody's favorite um, corporation that's trying to take over anime. Feature film rights to experimental imprint Aftershock Comics' latest project have been acquired by a major studio before the book goes on sale. Fandom Wire reports Sony Pictures is producing Aftershock, the kaiju score, by writer James Patrick, artist Rem Brew, and letterer Dave Sharp for the big screen. Described as part monster heist and part action adventure arc, the Kaiju score will be a mishmash of genres comparable to a Tarantino film, says creator James Patrick. I I think the fastest way to describe it in general is what I put in the pitch, he said in a statement. He went on, the Kaiju Squad is a Quentin Tarantino film taking place in some corner of a Godzilla movie. That's an interesting comparison. Tarantino and Godzilla. That's an interesting combination there. You have this giant canvas of a kaiju attack occurring, and as it happens, there's this more personal story going on, Patrick said. And after that setup, it explores how these four characters who are in just the worst situation in their lives believe the only way out to do is this impossible thing, he added. This crazy crime, it's about that desperation. So a comic about desperation. That probably would be a fun one to read. Let's see what you guys are saying to that since I'm on the other page here. Oh, no commentary. No commentary on this, huh? We got four people again. Yay! People back. So goody. Yay! Okay. Continuing on then. Patrick's work includes The Monsters of Jimmy Crumb and Death Comes to Dillinger. Impressed by his art in Terminal Protocol, Patrick hired Rem Brew for Kaiju Score. Brew made his name illustrating the comics Terminal Protocol and The End Times of Bram and Ben. He's been an artist at Image since 1992. So that's like 28 years ago. That's almost 30 years ago. 90s, thousands, 10. So that's across 4 decades there. The film is being produced by Todd Black, Equalizer and Southpaw, Jason Blumenthal, and Steve Tisch of Escape Artist. Company VP Tony Shaw pitched the project to Sony. Zhao Chen. Zhao Chen will oversee development of them. Aftershock founders Lee and John Kramer are said to be pitching in too. From the comic end, started in 2015. Their label is known for titles Animosity and Black Eyed Kids, among others. I guess here is some artwork. Good artwork there, huh? Let's see. Let's see if anybody's saying anything. Yeah, still no comment. Guess you guys are just enjoying me reading off the news stories since I've been at it for a few days. It's kind of a nice restful weekend for me. Taking Friday off from doing news to just talk. Just hang out, and then of course having the weekend off, not doing a whole lot, just getting caught. Keeping caught up on on some wrestling stuff, classic wrestling. Anyways, here we go. Sony's track record with Kaiju, far from stellar, which does not inspire confidence. Record with Kaiju, far from stellar, which does not inspire confidence. Their TriStar arm was behind the divisive 1998 American Godzilla. Yeah, a lot of people have been critical of Sony. Excuse me a moment, guys. Anyways, I'm back now. As poor as that film's reputation is, Sony maintains the distribution rights to some of Toho's Heisei and Millennium era um, Godzilla movies. Be that as it may, they recently appeared to lose the rights to Godzilla versus Biollante and Godzilla versus King Ghidorah. Issue number one of the Kaiju Score is on sale November 25th. Below is a synopsis. November 25th. That sounds like it's going to be coming out on Thanksgiving. Or at least Thanksgiving here in the States. A month earlier than that. Let me just. Before Thanksgiving. So Kaiju Score will be coming out on Wednesday, November 25th of this year, the day before Thanksgiving here in the States. So wouldn't that be an interesting read to have with your turkey dinner? You know, from Aftershock Comics, the Kaiju Score. Okay, so here's the synopsis for the Kaiju Score. Um, it's the most okay. It's the most dangerous heist ever attempted. Four desperate criminals are going all in on a once in a lifetime chance to steal millions in art and turn their miserable lives around. The catch, they have to pull it off under the nose of of a 1,000-ton kaiju and a giant monster might just be the least of their problems. No writer or director is attached yet to the motion picture, according to the Hollywood Reporter. So that's the end of that. So I said I was only able to find a couple of stories here, but that sounds kind of interesting there, huh? So did you guys like how I read? You guys like how I sometimes will alter my voice a little bit when I'm reading to kind of let's see. It looks like you guys have some. Sorry, listening and cleaning prints. Yeah, I figured as much there. ATC playing Warzone with a buddy. My bad. I'm listening in. Okay, just I understand. I hope your buddy is liking the commentary as well. Maybe he'll maybe when he goes home or whatever he'll choose to subscribe. Maybe he can catch some of it when he's not at your house. Listening to it with you. Their their animosity or yeah, and I'm sorry, not anima, anonymity. Um, Kitgu are always or kaiju. I guess that's your way of spelling kaiju. Just in case you didn't see ATC, kaiju is spelled Kaiju. Just in case you were wondering the spelling there. Yeah, so those are the two stories that I had for tonight. We're just at the 40-minute mark. Uh, yeah. So how did your weekend go, guys? Oh wait, that's right. You guys are busy with other stuff. So how can I get a conversation going here? Oh yeah, as I was talking about before you guys came on, this being the last day of August, of course, this is normally around the time of year traditionally where um, Saturday morning previews are getting started and people are getting ready for school and stuff. Um, so laugh out loud, fat fingered it. Okay. I got to sleep. So okay. So you had a weekend off of sleeping there, anonymity. Um, yeah. So one of the things that I was just going over some of my memories growing up. As we were, first day of school, first week of school. One of the things I remember, growing up as flipping to the channel on some of the PBS stations, when you'd see, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, every year around this time, he'd have his back to school week long special where where he'd be going to different schools and, showing, his preschool and kindergarten audiences, what they were in for, you know. He'd also have, the train that would go to make believe land, and because I think Daniel Lyon, some of the other youngsters of the village there, would be going for their first day of school. Let's see what you is in here. And I watched SAO Alicization. Yeah, I'm doing a short run of 3D printed printed He-Man accessories, and then if they sell well, um, I'll be doing that. If they, yeah, okay. Oh, we got 5 people in here now. Yay, 5 people. I hope you guys are enjoying the content so far. I went through a couple of stories earlier, one about the One Piece manga and another about a comic that's going to be released the day before Thanksgiving here in the States called Kaiju Score. They're, both pretty. I think it's actually they're preparing it for a movie actually. But um, anyways, okay, one person left. So yeah, it's always nice these times of year, because back to school. Now, granted, I know kids are not going back to school because of the COVID thing. They're doing more online stuff, so that kind of sucks. For them because kids need, especially young kids, they need to get out. They need to exercise. Kids need to go to their local parks and slide down the slide and swing on the swings. You know, they need to run around and play. They can't just be stuck at home all day. Okay, it's not natural. Yeah, so I was thinking earlier when I was talking earlier before you guys came on. I was thinking about being that it's the last day of August here, August 31st. It'd be a good time to ask you guys um how you might have spent your summer vacations. But then I realized we've been on a perpetual vacation since March, so with the COVID stuff. But excuse me a moment. I actually forgot to do something even before I started my stream, which was on my phone. Check that real quick. Shut off the ringer for the rest of the stream, and then we'll be to it. Okay. 72 degrees, okay. Yeah, so right now here where I am at in Southern California, 72 degrees at quarter to 8 with the sun going down. So interesting stuff. I shouldn't have any more interruptions there. My phone, at least for right now. Anyways, back to this thing. Let's see if and nothing new to respond to still. Okay, that's fine. Hmm. Yeah, I was just going back and remembering, some classic memories growing up, and I'm sure many of you have had, for the surfers out there, getting up early in the morning to go surf on the beach, you know, hanging out with your friends at the beach, having barbecues, roasting marshmallows over the fire pits, going swimming in the ocean, playing volleyball, or you know, tossing around a beach ball or football as you're just maybe burying your parents or your friends in sand, building sand castles, all kinds of fun stuff to do for over the summer. Huh? Go to your favorite amusement parks. I know that Aramine, actually, if you guys remember who Aramine is, that's Erica McCord of AWA fame, Anime Weekend Atlanta fame. Um, the one that Faisal tried to say stuff, say she said stuff about Vic that she didn't. She had a video out over the weekend about, I guess, the reopening of Universal Studios Japan. It was a pretty good video too. You guys might want to check that out. But yeah, just a lot of fun stuff to to do during the summer in the past. Um, oh yeah. Hmm. Yeah, so let's see now. What else can we talk about here? Um, oh yeah, I did mention this earlier too. As I said, I was watching Floyd Bounty Hunter stream a bit earlier, and I guess on Toonami, Steve Bloom as his character Tom decided. I guess they decided that it was time to give Toonami fans a lecture on racism and social justice. Because I guess over the weekend they did a little bit on Black Lives Matter and stuff, and basically, and I don't know if you guys know this, but they for a lot of them do tend to lean left, so they're trying to push the propaganda, trying to indoctrinate, obviously those who are in that 15 to 18 age range, But the point that Toy Bounty Hunters was making, of course, on it was that most people who watch Toonami don't want to be preached to. They just want to watch their anime. They want to escape the baloney of the world. And we were having a pretty lively conversation. I have some of my own views on the matter, but you know, um, rather not get too deep into that and start. I don't think there'd be a lot of heated exchanges here, as far as I know. But anyways, yeah, it does kind of take me to a point of like looking at some of the ways, in some ways, how Japan will take a look at aspects of the world, not just their own history, but even some of the takes they have on world history. You have like Italia World Axis powers and the Le Chevalier d'Eon. That was a pretty good anime, set in King Louis the XIV's time. Some interesting stuff there. Is there anything you guys want to talk about or want to add to the conversation, including the person who hasn't talked much? Uh, they should just put they should just put out a good product and shut their goop their gobes up or goibs up. Uh, yeah, I kind of agree. I mean, you know, kind of like again, nobody wants to be preached to. Nobody wants to be, when we watch anime, we want to escape the real world. Now, granted, sometimes maybe we want to make aspects of the anime world, real. You know, I've definitely thought about the idea you know, if I had the money of trying or attempting to basically live out my own harem anime, go over to Japan and see if I can pull that off. That's but I'm sure a lot of people have thought of that. A lot of single guys probably thought of that. Not that it's likely to happen, but still a good fantasy to have. You know, let's see. So yeah, so they started. They started with the dub of Assassination Class No. 1 Toonami this past weekend. So still going with this. So as I told you too, you can tell that Funimation is getting more and more control of that too, because right now, as I was mentioning, of the 7 time slots that they have on there, Funimation has 4 of them now. They have they have 12 o'clock with Dragon Ball Super. Dragon Ball Super. Um, 1 o'clock with Assassination Class, 1:30 with Black Clover, and 2 o'clock with Fire Force. So the other 3 spots are LA with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure at 12:30, um, Naruto Shippuden at 2:30, and then at 3, Samurai Jack. So let's see what. Laugh out loud. My wife's booking us a vacay to Japan, and she sending me to a maid cafe. And uh, she's actually now. I don't know. I don't know. I know we kind of talked about this before, but is your wife's an anime as well? ATC. I don't know if we talked about this on Friday. Yeah, I think I might have asked and don't remember how you answered. But is your wife into anime as well? The wife into the anime culture and all that? Also, what I'd recommend too, if you do go over to China, you should chronicle it on your channel there. Just show everybody your experiences there, so everybody can take a good look at it. Um, I know Aramine actually does that a lot when she's over there. So that's awesome. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I myself have thought about if I ever got rich enough, if I was ever able to maybe get off Social Security and you know, through investments or whatever, if I got rich enough, I might move to Japan. Of course, what you have to also understand too, from what I understand, is if you do travel, Now, this is what I've heard. Action toy channels, they might end up telling you this when you guys are going in for your passport and stuff. But from what I understand, is if you do go to Japan, they might end up quarantining, making you sit in quarantine for 2 weeks, make sure you don't have the virus for letting you actually into the country. They might actually keep you at the airport until they determine that you don't have COVID or you're not going to. That's what I heard. That's actually, I think, one of the things that even Toy Bounty Hunters had mentioned. So just be aware of that. Excuse me a moment, guys. Yeah, I'm back. So anonymity. That's awesome. I came to play. It's a price you pay. You better get down on your knees and pray. I came to play. Little Miz action there, Mike Mizanin. You know, going from tough enough contestant to WWE superstar. You know, now he's a he's been a main eventer for the last few years. I came to play. It's a price you pay. You better get down on your knees and pray. I came to play. Yeah, so all right, let me tell you a little bit about what I did over the weekend. I pretty much, as I said, I pretty much spent most of it sitting, watching some old pro wrestling shows from September, first couple weeks of September 1975. You know, got a chance to watch some good British wrestling from joint promotions on their ITV program, World of Sport. And it's not like America. I know a lot of wrestling fans today would go back. Even I think a lot of wrestling fans today would go back and watch even the stuff in the '70s here in the states, and may not completely care for it. Because it was a different time then. You paced. Wrestling matches were paced a little bit differently, but as a historical base and going back and watching from that time period and watching how wrestling evolved from, let's say, like from 1975 all the way up to today, watching how professional wrestling evolved over time from the territory days to the dawn of sports entertainment in the 80s, the 90s revolution, where you saw like hardcore becoming more and more popular here in the States. It started becoming, I think, in Japan in the late 80s with like Frontier Martial Arts and Big Japan Pro Wrestling um, being established. But got a chance to watch watch some of that. You know, just I just still try to find stuff to watch. You know, at the time in '75, of course, the late Jack Briscoe was the world heavyweight champion. The late Hiro Masuda was the world junior heavy in the NWA World Junior Heavyweight Champion. You had Fabulous Moolah, who was the world women's champion at the time, and you had Joyce Grable and Vicky Williams as the world women's tag champions at the time. So different times, but it was still some interesting stuff to watch. You know, um, maybe not as flashy as today's wrestling is, but still some interesting stuff to watch. And then, of course, aside from that, of course, I recorded recorded my latest VA profile that I put up yesterday morning midday. So I don't know if you guys had a chance to catch that. Um, this time I focused in on Brad Swale, known for being known for being the voice of Kurt Wagner, Nightcrawler, and X Men Evolution. Um, Rock from the English voice of Rock from Black Lagoon. Um, let's see, the English voice of Light Yagami from Death Note. So so hopefully you guys will catch that, find out more about his work. Um, see, I still am trying to work on getting guests for the Fridays. Haven't had anybody commit yet. Um, I send the emails and then hope that they reply back and then track them down and ask them. Sometimes I'm trying still though. So hopefully we'll get some guests on soon, more regularly, sharing the fun. Gives me a moment. All right, guys back. Hold on. Don't have guests. I'll try to get you on and see if you guys want to give your commentary on some of the stories. I always want to try to make it panel situation for Fridays. So um, I mean, again, yeah, work. Anyways, yeah. So what I discovered last week too, with the stories, because I saw I did 6 stories that almost went almost the entire time on Monday, and then struggled to get like one or two the rest of the week. So what I realized is I'm gonna start doing is I'm gonna go a maximum of 4 stories for each night. Tonight I was only able to find 2 because that should be able to help us run through the time, with 4, at least get us to the hour mark. Now we are over the hour mark, so that's good to see. And one person just left us apparently. Um, yeah. So anyway, so now that we've seen that, okay, so ATC, if you can respond, if you're not too busy, if you can respond to this, what do you hope to see when you go over to Japan? What experiences do you hope to have um, when you go to Japan? Why don't you tell everybody about it? See, we have a fourth person back. That's cool. Anything and everything, huh? Yeah, that's quite a bit. And from what I've seen, like from Ari Means films and from some of the stuff I've seen, like on NHK and stuff like that, Japan is a very beautiful country. I mean, as I said, I would, if I had the means to, I'd love to just move there and get away from the craziness here in the states and just move there and just live a peaceful life. I want to check out the street food, the shopping malls. Yeah, one of the other things I've noticed too there is that they have a lot of vending machines. It's like you can go down the street and see numerous vending machines too. That's got to be cool. You don't have to go to you don't always have to go to your local liquor store because it's like now granted they have like quote unquote local liquor slash convenience stores as well, but you can go to your local vending machine too. Yeah. Yeah, you can get from what I've seen, you can get all kinds of things in the vending machines there. Like get green, you can get sodas, you can get teas, you can even get some coffee too, and even some cup of noodles. Get food items too, like cup of noodles, snacks, kind of thing. Oh my god, I want to try all the vending machines. I would too if I was able to go over there. If I was able to go over there, I'd love to do that same things. Check out all the vending machines, see what they have. Like to walk down some of their coastlines and stuff like that. Just some of the smaller villages. Um, that'd be cool. That'd be real bit. That'd be real cool. Well, I hope when you guys do go that you and your wife do have a good time. I don't know if you heard my little warning to you earlier. Just be aware that you might want to make sure you plan for a lengthy stay because they may make you sit there for 2 weeks in quarantine just to make sure you don't have it before letting you even into the country. So that's one of the things I heard. Ha ha ha! Do it all. Yeah, yeah. Do it all. Do everything you can. Make the most of the experience. That's what life is really all about. Make the most of the experience. So anonymity. What about you? Do you have any big plans coming up? Have any big plans you'd like to share with everybody? And just so to the fourth person who's been lurking in here, if you ever want, don't be afraid to, if you have any questions or comments you wish to share or any experiences you wish to share with everybody, you're more than welcome to share. You know, always welcome to be part of the conversation. You don't have to be shy. Somebody added something there. ATC. Mike, question: who would be your dream guest? Who would be my dream guest? I don't know if I per se have a dream guest. You know, there are a lot of people I want to do interviews with. There are people been I've been trying to get on here, but they've been busy and stuff like that. I mean, um, like I'd say the closest thing to quote unquote a dream guest or dream scenario that I was trying to do at the very for the first Friday, it just didn't work out that way. Was to have that Umbrella Guy, Yellow Flash, and Hero Hey on to talk about their channels. Kind of do like what we did with what I did with the Knuckleheads, except in their case, instead of course focusing on conventions, it'd be focusing on their channels and comics and stuff like that. Um, so if I have anything close to quote unquote a dream situation, would be that. Part of the reason is because in a way it was those three Hero Hey, Yellow Flash, and that Umbrella Guy who were the guys who kind of inspired me to start uploading videos and do all this. You know, I've had a YouTube account since 2013, but all I was doing was just watching videos on it. But after the whole thing with the Vic situation started last year, and I was subscribing to them, and then I was like, I was wanting to become part of the conversation too. And then when I brought it to Yellow Flash and some of theirs attention about Illet Guardiola and Flash's response to it, made me think, hey, okay, I'm going to give this a try. I'm going to start uploading videos and see how I do with this. And ever since May of 2019, I've been uploading videos in some form or another. You know, doing like daily news segments. My first like 30 videos were, I had an introduction video that isn't on any of my playlists. It's just simple introduction, but and 29 others with very catchy titles or whatever. Um, typical news commentary stuff, and then in July of last year, I decided to change it up and have the on the mic segments. Pretty much the same thing, news commentary. And then also during that time, I started doing like profile pieces, like voices big and small, where I would be like profiling, different voice actors in the anime, primarily anime dubbing, but also some who've crossed over into like Western animation as well. And then, of course, I decided to do one of the other projects I'm doing is Squared Circle Calendar, which is a wrestling history retrospect. But as to your question, again, I don't have per se, quote unquote, a dream guess. The closest thing would be to basically be able to get Tug, Yellow Flash, and Hey all on to just hang out and talk niche. You know, I guess that's my dream situation with any guest is just hang out and talk niche and not worry about a lot of the other negative stuff going on in the world, like Corona or the protest or Amber Heard or the Vic situation. Just hanging out and just being fans, being fans together and appreciating the work, appreciating what we watch and not worrying about getting preached at for it. That I guess is my dream situation. No drama. I guess no drama is my dream situation. So, right, that's probably quite a lengthy answer, but hopefully, hopefully that's something that you can understand. And you can give me for a moment. Thank you for the question, by the way, ATC. I appreciate it. Life's best when drama free. True, true. It is, and anonymity. True, it is. Well, we got five people. Hello, fifth person. How are you doing tonight? Hopefully you're having a good day. Start to a good week, and hopefully, we can have some fun here. And you missed the news stories earlier. Hopefully, you'll consider coming on a little earlier to catch the news stories. I talked to but you can always go back and watch them if you miss them. Oh, and they left again. Who? Well, don't forget, guys. I do leave my streams up, so if you missed part of the stream, you can go back and watch the parts that you missed. Check out some of the news stories that I cover as well. Excuse me again, one moment. And also, guys, know that ultimately what I hope to do is have a nice pool of guests available to rotate, week to week, so that not necessarily the same person or same group of people is always on all the time. Different perspectives. And I'll be inviting people on in different comments. Sometimes I'll be inviting them in as groups of people, like with Knuckleheads, like I did there. Other times I might, pair them up. I might invite one of them, a person, and try to pair off people or group people together. And sometimes in combinations you're familiar with, other times in combinations that maybe you're not as familiar with, but might produce some very interesting point counterpoint or perspectives. You know, just just getting the conversation going and continue, keeping it going. That's what I always try to do. Mm. Yeah. So, and I'll keep trying to do my best to do the best show I can do. Hopefully at least the one thing I have going for me is I love sharing all the information I have. I People find it interesting, but they just oftentimes have neither the time nor always the the drive to go and search for that information. I'm glad I do, because finding out these trivia tidbits for you guys is fun. I know ATC appreciates it, because when I told him about PD Williams and the Canadian destroyer pile driver, I know he got a kick out of that. He himself went and looked that up. Right, ATC? At Action Toys channel. Oh, one of the other things too that I did over the weekend here too, well, of course I've been doing this the last few Sunday nights too, and growing a little bit, So aside from animes, I'm watching some older shows on YouTube that I can find on YouTube. Um, Last night I watched like the first couple episodes of 21 Jump Street. the whole talk about Johnny Depp's got me thinking about that again. And of course, I've been watching as well. Of course, I've been watching as well. Highway to Heaven from back in the '80s with Michael Landon and Victor French. Um, Highlander the series from back in the '90s, and Forever Night. Um, all pretty cool shows. Um, let's see. You guys, let's see. Laugh Out Loud. That was amazing. Like, how the heck do you bounce into that pile driver? Yeah, drive. Yeah, yeah. I mean, again, ATC. It's something to be seen. It's something to be seen. It's I'm sure anybody who would see it, I'm sure they'd have like a jaw dropping experience watching it because it's incredibly explosive when you watch it. Having a guy go from having you in a pike position, basically jumping over you and then carrying you over and driving you in a pile driver and then bouncing you out of him like unbelievable. That is something that's kind of amazing there. Yeah, so yeah, we're coming up. We're 122 and we're at 122 and change. Um, anything else on you guys' mind tonight? I know you both are busy with some stuff going on where you're at, so that move is like hacking. Okay, I don't know how it's like hacking, but um, yeah. Anything else on you guys' mind tonight? Yeah, we're back up to 5 people. Cool. Okay. Okay. Well, if nobody else got anything else to ask or anything like that, hey, Mike. Hey, Adafos. How you doing, man? You're a little on the late side. Um, don't know if you caught any of the news I was reporting on earlier. Talked a bit about the One Piece manga as well as possible Sony getting the rights to do a movie version of a property from Aftershocks comic called Kaiju Score. So you can always go back and check out the stream earlier. I can see the pile drive in the air, just not from a stand. Yeah, I mean that's incredible athleticism right there. to be able to do it. I mean, you have to have like incredible leg strength in order to pull that off. Yeah, sorry, woke up, decided to hop on for 10 minutes and go back to bed. Okay. Well, I hope in the future you can join us earlier so you can catch more of the content. I was just about to start. I was about to wind down myself here. I was getting to the this day in niche history. So, are you guys ready for this day in niche history? Of course. Yay! Of course. Yeah, and out of us, I don't know if this will be if this will be your first time or not. So this is a portion of the program in which what I do is, depending upon, of course, what day it is, and in this case, it's August 31st. I go back and look for stuff, from back in the past, and kind of remind people what happened on this day in niche history. Day being August 31st, 2020. Let's take a look back at what happened on this day in on this August 31st in niche history. Actually, got a couple of things in 2005 to start us off with. First off, first off, on this date in 2005, DC Comics put out on the newsstands Volume 4, or the 15th issue of Volume 4 of Doom Patrol. On this date in 2005, which was 15 years ago, DC put out on the newsstands, released on the newsstands, the 15th issue of Volume 4 of Doom Patrol. In case some of you remember what Doom Patrol is. Doom Patrol was a group, basically in some respects, some people would argue that they were DC Comics version of the Fantastic Four in a way, developing special powers. You had, the original crew of Dr. Niles Calder with Mento, Negative Man, Elastigirl, and Robot Man. So with that, let's move on to the. Oh, we lost somebody there. Oh, that's sad. Anyways, so let's move on to the next piece of history here. So on this date, on this date again in 2005, 15 years ago, um, on this date, a single drama CD of Soul Eater was, which was binded to, was produced on this day. A drama C, the Soul Eater drama CD was produced on this date in 2005, 15 years ago today. Um, so on this date, 15 years ago today, aside from the release of Volume 4, Issue 15 of Doom Patrol, we also had the single drama CD produced for Soul Eater. Now moving on to the next piece of history here. Hit the wrong button. Okay, so moving on to 2010 now. On this date in 2010, after more than 10 years on the air, PBS airs Dragon Tales for the last time on PBS Kids Block. The show has been on the network since September 6, 1999. So it basically ran for 10 years. So on this date in 2010, um, Dragon Tales would come to an end on PBS. Yet, don't know. Well, I didn't obviously watch that, but I don't know if anybody in here grew up on PBS Kids stuff or not, but still was a piece of history there. Soul Eater is a great anime. The spin-off Soul Eater not wasn't bad either. Yeah, I'll be watching. I've seen Soul Eater in its entirety. I think like two or three times. Five people back in. Yay! um, I've seen Soul Eater all the way through. I'm like currently as part of my programs watching D Gray Man, so I'll be checking out. I'd watched the first 51, 52 episodes, so I'll be watching the whole series through this time. Watching Hollow that, and then watching Soul Eater and Soul Eater Not. Maybe I'll check out Soul Eater Not as well. So, so yeah, Soul Eater was one of the interesting things about Soul Eater that I liked too was the art style and the Halloween imagery they would use. It's like that Soul Eater is probably the perfect anime to watch around Halloween. You know, started in maybe mid September or so, and then let it go through until mid November to kind of capture that, because it does feel like a Halloweeny type anime. Soul Eater does, um, and that's one of the things I found kind of cool about it. So with that then, and then we have one more piece of history, of course, to look through. Um, and it happened just 5 years ago on this day in 2015. Let's see, from the Amalie Arena in Tampa, Florida. WWE had Monday Night Raw on this date in 2015. In the main event of the evening, the Dudley Boys beat the New Day with Xavier Woods in their corner. Um, Bubba Ray and Brother Devon, joined together to defeat the New Day in the main event of um, of Monday Night Raw. Also as a special drive, you had a set of three beat the clock matches in which you had a set time to try to beat a 1 minute 40 seconds. Um, well, I guess no, the last two were minute 40. The first beat the clock match to establish the time. I get okay. So in the first beat the clock match, I guess Becky Lynch set the time by defeating Alicia Fox in 3 minutes 21 seconds by submission. Then Charlotte set a new time uh, by beating Brie Bella. And then the third match ended in a draw when Paige failed to beat the time of 140. So also on the another big thing that happened on this night as well was at the very beginning of the show, Sting, yes, a Sting of WCW fame, came out to confront Seth Rollins, and even at one point calling him a boy. So, and then in a dark match at the end of the show, John Cena and Randy Orton would defeat Seth Rollins and Sheamus. So that's all that happened on this date in Niche history on this August 31st. Don't forget, tomorrow, of course, is the first day of September. So, of course, it'll still be 3 weeks before we're officially into fall. But usually a lot of people consider more. Was Soul Eater about three students Wow, the Dudley Boys were still wrestling. Yep, yeah, they were, and I think they still might be somewhere, um, or at the very least, they're trainers somewhere. You know, um, yeah. Soul Eaters. Soul Eater was basically about group of students training to become Soul Reapers, and they would partner up with each other. Where you'd have a human partner, you'd have a partner that could turn itself into a weapon. Oh, that was what Soul Eater was. So, anyways, guys, okay, so we're at the 1 hour 35 minute mark and change. So I think I'm gonna wrap up for the night. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream tonight. If I keep my streams up, so if you guys want to go back and check out the stories from earlier, you can. Um, I kind of hope and wish you guys could try to get here on time, but I understand you guys have lives of your own, so I do appreciate it when you guys come in. Always enjoy having you guys on, talking needs and stuff. Um, Always, guys, if you like the content, please consider liking, comment, liking, sharing, subscribing. See if we can get some more people in here. I'm still, of course, promoting the GoFundMe's, as you guys know as well. If you guys want to contact me directly, you can either comment on on the discussions portion of my channel, or you can, DM me on Discord. Um, Actually, I'm still promoting a bunch of different dub companies as well. And until tomorrow night, guys, I will see you tomorrow night. Bye.